Would you like to learn how to make a mouth-watering reverse seared ribeye steak with shrimp just like this? You would? Good, because in this video, I'm going to show you how to do just that, a perfect meal for Father's Day.
Lisa D Delights.
Okay, let's get into this recipe. Your ingredients and measurements and stuff will be in the description box below. The first thing to go on the steak is some why in the world would you name it that sauce. This sauce acts as a binder as well as enhancing the flavor of the steak. Next, I'm going in with my own all-purpose seasoning, ASIL. ASIL has salt, pepper, onion, and garlic powder and other spices in it. You can grab yours with the link pinned in the comment section. But if you don't want to use ASIL, that's cool. I was just trying to help your palate. You can just use some old regular smegular sea salt and fresh cracked black pepper and maybe a little onion powder and garlic powder if you really want it to taste good. Just be sure to press that seasoning in and also season the fat cap, which is the edge of the steak. And don't forget to season the other side too. Now let's make some garlic butter to ensure that this ribeye is super juicy. You need 2 sticks of butter. Add in some chopped garlic, some fresh flat leaf Italian parsley, and scallions. The next ingredient is optional to my pork patrol. Leave the chopped bacon out if you like, but it just adds a smoky flavor to the steak and it's super delicious. I'm just saying. We're not going to use all of that garlic bacon butter. I just like to make a lot and I freeze it for other future recipes. Now let's give the steak a nice butter facial, just like so. Reverse sear is actually my favorite way to cook steak because by doing it this way, you end up with a perfectly tender, juicy cooked steak and a crisp outside every time. And the way we do it is we're going to start in the oven at a very low heat, and then we're going to sear it at a very high heat on the stovetop in a frying pan. The reason this method works so well is because it gives us better control. By starting at a low temperature in the oven, it slows everything down, buys us more time, and our margin of error is a lot lower. But this method really doesn't work on thin steak. The steak has to be at least like 1.5 inches thick in order for this method to work. Oh, and your steak should be room temperature. You don't want to cook cold meat because it won't cook evenly. Go ahead and preheat your oven to 250. I'm probably a weirdo and I'm the only one that likes my steak medium well, closer to well. Don't judge me, judge yourself. But here's a chart so you can do you, boo-boo. Me personally, for a medium well steak, I'm going for a in the oven targeted temp of 135 degrees. The targeted in oven temperatures on this chart are slightly lowered because it's going to continue to cook a little when we pull it out the oven. Next, let's get started on our shrimp. I love to use these red Argentine shrimp. They have a fresh, clean, sweet flavor. They're actually known to be the sweetest shrimp in the world. And that Chef Paul's salmon seasoning is so delicious. It goes well on all kinds of seafood, actually, not just salmon. And add in some Old Bay and some fresh cracked black pepper. Mix up that seasoning real good. And then set the shrimp aside. Let it marinate a little bit until our steak is done. After 35 minutes in the oven, this is what he's looking like. A food thermometer is really needed here because you want to ensure that the internal temperature is right where you need it to be. And I'm sitting at an internal temp at around 135 degrees. I should have done this before I put the steak in the oven, but you want to cut a little slit onto the fat cap so that the steak doesn't buckle up on you when it's searing. Then remove him from the pan and add in some avocado oil. That oil has a high smoke point. Turn the stove onto a very high heat. Let it get nice and really hot before you add in your steak, and place the steak in the pan away from you. And then press down on it to get a full surface contact because we want to get a nice sear, a nice crustification on this bad boy. So the goal here is to preserve that perfect doneness in the center of the steak. So we want to get the sear on it as quickly as possible. I do 2 minutes on each side, but you can do 60 to 90 seconds if you prefer. Then add some of that delicious garlic butter to the pan, as well as some fresh rosemary and a couple of cloves of garlic. Yes, more garlic. Shut your face. I love garlic. Oh, and ruffle the rosemary a little to release those delicious aromatics. Then tilt the pan towards you and flick that garlic butter on top of the steak. You have to do all of this really, really quickly though, because you don't want your steak to be overcooked. Now remove him from the pan and let's work on our shrimp. Yes, same pan. I hate dishes. Pan still on high heat, shrimp in. I'm gonna sear them 2 minutes on each side because these are jumbo shrimp. If you have smaller shrimp, then it would take less time to cook. I didn't get it on camera, but I took the shrimp out and I added some onions to the pan. I love grilled onions on my steak. Lord have mercy. I'm about to change the name of my channel to She Put Her Foot in It. Somebody look at this. That's what you call love on a plate or a cutting board. Your pappy will sure appreciate you if you make this for him. I know I sure appreciated me when I made it for me. It was so good, y'all. Want to see the inside? Of course you do. Just don't judge me and I won't judge you. My God, forever. Doing this voiceover made me so hungry. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. All the dads out there, I wish you a blessed and beautiful Father's Day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. God bless you. Bye.
Got noises in my stomach, so I guess I'm feeling hungry. I click that YouTube Lisa D so I can kill this rumbling. But when I'm in the kitchen, don't know what I'm doing, stumbling. This time I try to cook, I burn it all, it was